Hey, my name's Leilani Numbers, and this morning I'm going to introduce you to our new founded company. It's called Rent a Casket. Our product will be casket shells. So let me explain. I'm sure that sounds a little bit crazy, but we will work with a casket company called Hillsdale Casket Company that's a well-known and provides a really great product when it comes to caskets. What they are going to do is make us various casket shells so that the insides of these caskets, basically there will be no bottom, and it will look like a beautiful casket, but inside will fit a box, a well-lined box that after the funeral services and the graveside services can be lowered into the ground and save all these people a whole lot of money. So our two products will actually be the rental business of renting the casket for the funeral services and the graveside services, and also we will be selling well-made boxes that people can buy to then bury their loved ones in. The value that we offer in talking with many mortuaries and those that help to plan funerals, they say that every year, and this is a statistic you can find out there, about 18 million people on average die in the United States. The people in the funeral planning business have told me that 2/3 of those people really struggle to pay for those funerals and for the cost of a casket. Our product's going to help them. So 2/3 of people, that's 12 million people that are struggling to come up with money or go into debt in order to pay for a service for their loved ones. So I feel like we really can offer a great solution to these people, and not only just on the financial side of things too, but also there's those people that there's many cases, as I was talking to those in the business, that maybe a loved one wanted to be cremated, but the family really is having a hard time with that. And so what option can be is they can rent a casket from us and then go ahead and be cremated after the funeral services. And so those that are having a hard time maybe with the cremation process or that being done, they can get their closure and have what they feel is a good funeral, but yet the wishes of the loved one can still be honored, and it really creates a win-win situation. So that is basically our value proposition, and again, I think it just will be able to serve many people. Our market segment will be those basically in the lower to mid-range income bracket. Although, again, our product across the board is a great idea. There's plenty of people that make all kinds of money that would be not a problem to have whatever kind of funeral they wanted, but maybe feel like it's not necessary to spend so much money on something that maybe to them, again, is just not necessary. So again, our product reaches across all market segments, but our focus will be on the lower to mid income range market of people, so that we can really help those that are really in need of this product. I did meet with many of those who work in the funeral industry, and we came up with just thinking that our best marketing tool will be working with them. People go to a mortuary when they want to plan a funeral for their loved one, and if our option is offered every time, then that's the best marketing solution right there. We will also do some social media blitzes, and possibly, as our company grows, some other advertising campaigns, but our main marketing niche will be working within the funeral industry, and maybe working with those with insurance people that offer funeral planning services and those types companies. So that's what we will do. Our get, keep, grow strategy, honestly, again, working with these funeral planning services, whether it be mortuaries or insurance companies, they're going to be our get, marketing tool, because again, that's who people go to when they need these services. So having these key partnerships are really going to benefit our company and keeping them strong. And what happens after that is when people realize there's another option, well, they're going to tell their friends and family how they can save so much money and not end up having a funeral turn into such a financial hardship for these families. And so just by word of mouth alone, we are going to keep growing and keep being successful. Let's see, our market type again will be the lower income market, and then partnerships. Our key activities, we'll work with Hillsdale Casket Company. They're well-known, make a great product of caskets. They will, the startup costs for our company, we have done some research, and we think it will take about $100,000 to do, just kind of figure out how to make a good shell and then produce enough of those to start up in a certain area of the country and start our company, and then we'll grow from there. So the key activities basically will be coming up with that casket shell, and then also we'll work with them also for them to make our box inserts, and just setting up a contract with them of what they'll be paid, what their costs will be, and what our costs will be. And as we've done our research, we've come up with the cost of $150 to rent the actual casket shell, and then the cost of the box would then be $600. So for $750, you could provide a funeral service that people could feel good about, but yet not have to go into debt for, or little debt, or in some cases, that's a figure that usually people can figure out how to make that work, as compared to a normal funeral cost of $20,000 and upwards. So, and sometimes that's just for the casket alone. So anyways, we hope our product really helps this demographic of the population, and as they're going through such a hard time in their lives. We got lots of feedback from not just those in the funeral industry, but also just random people, friends, neighbors, those just that I came across, would tell them my idea, ask them for suggestions or what they thought of it. Most people really liked the idea. Some people did not like the name of the company. They said maybe it sounded a little crass, just because you want a funeral product to come across in a tender, loving way. Rent-A-Casket has more of a straight approach to it. It basically just describes exactly what it is, and maybe without that tender side to it. So we'll keep working on the name of the company to maybe incorporate something that cushions Rent-A-Casket in a little bit more of a tender approach, but for the moment we're going to go with Rent-A-Casket. Let's see, we also, the cost of what a company is going to make. Again, our startup cost in doing the research with Hillsdale Casket Company, and trying to figure out how much it would cost to create a shell, we came up with a figure of $100,000. Now, as far as revenue, in the first year, it's projected that, and how we're going to get that $100,000, let me cover that first, is just from key investors. Hillsdale said they'd probably be willing to go in with us on this because they do really like the idea, and then I have other private investors that are also willing to put money in the pot to get this project up and off the ground. Once it's started, just in the first year alone, the estimated revenue is $600,000 profit after paying for startup costs and projected overhead costs and advertising costs, which we really want to build our company on a foundation of little debt, and so we really want to be debt-free within the first year so that we can keep a great foundation as we grow the company. And this figure will really grow quickly. That's based on the lower end of what we think is possible, just to be safe and just to keep our numbers within a good margin. But really, the possibilities are much better. As far as my business model canvas, I've attached those so you can see a big difference from the beginning document that I started with and what has been added along the way. We've learned a lot from this process as far as what will work, what won't work, but in the end, most people love the idea, and a lot of them have told me, please let me know when you have something like this to offer because I'll be your first customer. So anyways, that's our idea for Rent a Casket, and I'd love to hear your feedback, and thank you.